Today we're going to be discussing the National Football League history, broadcasting, governance, stakeholders, and overall ethical policies.
Since 1869, football has been a popular American pastime. It wasn't until 1920 that the NFL was created. The teams were from 4 cities of Ohio, Indiana, New York, and Illinois. The first game was held September 26th, featuring an APFA team, and they played in Douglas Park, Illinois, with only 800 viewers. A century later, the league consists of 32 teams with a total of 1,696 players. The commencement of the season starts mid-September with the kickoff game and normally ends mid-February with the Super Bowl.
The first game to be televised was in 1939 by NBC. Since the 1960s, all regular season and playoff games broadcasted in the United States have been aired by national television networks. These networks include ABC, CBS, ESPN, NBC, and Fox. The rights to broadcast NFL games are the most expensive of any American sport. In 1964, an NFL broadcasting contract was worth $36 million and is currently worth $27 billion.
There's your beautiful baby.
Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos at my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do?
I know.
Give me that.
The Super Bowl is the largest advertising event of the year. Super Bowl games have frequently been among the U.S. most watched television broadcasts. The 2015 game was seen by at least 114 million viewers in the U.S. alone. The 2 biggest spenders of commercials for the Super Bowl are Budweiser and Pepsi. According to a Stanford University study, the event has the potential to create significant increases in brand capital because ratings average over 40% of households, and ads are a focal point of the broadcast. The average cost of a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl in 2015 was around $4.5 million. This is a result of the game's extremely high viewership and wide demographics.
The NFL sponsorship revenue totals to $1.15 billion. Some of the most active sponsors include Gatorade, Verizon, Pepsi Cola, Ford, and Visa. Anheuser-Busch InBev agreed to spend $1.2 billion for Bud Light to replace Coors Light as the NFL official sponsor in the beer category. This is one of the most lucrative sponsorships in sports history.
Stakeholders have 2 main objectives. They either seek profit or utility. In this case, the stakeholders seeking profit would be owners, managers, players, sponsors, government, banks, and stadium workers. Those seeking utility regarding football would be local community and fans.
Governance is an essential component to a fair and entertaining game. The league representatives enforce rules specifically designed to create an environment fair for both teams that excites the fans and protects the players. For example, they approve equipment and a uniform inspector is present every game to ensure compliance. The Commissioner's Office works with over 24 committees that research and examine possible policy changes before making recommendations. The Competition Committee, for example, leads the rulemaking process, which takes input not only from its coaches subcommittee but also from numerous other sources. The NFL Football Operations Bible is the game operations manual. It contains nearly 200 pages of procedures and policy for regular season games alone.
Any infractions with governance means a team can risk a $500,000 fine. This is for a violation that would affect the competitive aspects of the game, such as late arrival for kickoff that could result in a yardage penalty, and a failure to comply with uniform policy that could result in a player's temporary removal. So does the NFL fumble with ethics? Although they have the Bible, it's been apparent in history that the league has found its way around certain rules and policies. The NFL does not take crime and punishment seriously in some cases. According to Forbes, the NFL has an ethics problem, big time. It is getting harder and harder to justify being a fan. The sport is showing signs of moral rot from within, and the game itself is too dangerous to play as it is. Additionally, the way they choose to punish players who make mistakes is driven entirely by fiscal concerns and not the severity of crimes committed and their players' victims.
And to have that kind of foot quickness and that good vision. And the other thing he is durable. He has averaged more carries per game than any back in the NFL over the last 3.5 years. Wide open and flicked into the end zone by Jerome Simpson.